Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my December favorites for you. And I thought about doing just like a year-end favorites, but I figured since I haven't had my channel for the whole year, I wouldn't do that. If you'd really like to see like my top 10, 15, 20 products of 2015, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments. But I thought, if nothing else, I'd like to do my December favorites for you. And I do have a little bit of a mix of things. They're all makeup for the most part, and some are new and some are old. I have been trying a lot of new makeup in December because I did buy quite a bit, but there are some things that I just got recently that I didn't feel like I had for a long enough time in order to be putting them in my favorites yet, so you'll probably see them next month. I do have one unfavorite this month, but other than that, I've really been enjoying everything that I've tried. So let's just get right into it, or else I know that we'll be here forever. So first things first, I'm kind of going to go in order of how I apply them, and I'm going to start off with the one non-makeup favorite, and that is a fragrance. And I have had this before. I actually bought this for myself on Mother's Day as my Mother's Day gift, and I am out already of the bottle that I bought myself. So I got the Big Daddy size of the Nest Midnight FLEUR fragrance. I love this. This is probably like my new signature scent. It smells just freaking amazing. It's a very like musky, sexy kind of smell, which is what I prefer. I really don't like this is a bit flowery, but it's like sexy flowery, not like girly flowery, and I really don't like sweet scents very much. So I'm pretty picky when it comes to what I like to wear as perfume. So this one is just really good. If you get a chance to smell it because it's great. Yeah, I really like this. Obviously, it's my favorites. I do this every time. I'm gonna do it forever. It's who I am as a person. I'm sorry. So anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is a primer. And I had tried this when Nikki Tutorials first mentioned it, and I wasn't blown away by it, but I'm not really a primer person, which is gonna be ironic later on, but it's the NIVEA Men Aftershave Balm, and I've been using it lately, and I found, because this month I tried a ton of new foundations, and it was this month that this really started making a difference for me. I got a sample of the Lancome Teint Idole, however you say it, and I find that that wears better with this. Not that it wears terribly without it, but it wears better with this. So I've been using it a lot more and actually noticing a difference. I think I didn't give it a good enough trial. The first time I used it, I only used it for like a couple days, and I was just like, so I have been using it for the whole month every time I remember. Since it's not a typical step in my routine, I have to like remind myself every morning, put on a primer, because I don't normally use one. So I've been using that. And again, I know what I just said, where I said I don't normally use a primer, but I got the BECCA Backlight primer, and I've been really liking this too. And what I've been doing, because the NIVEA one works because when you rub it on your skin, you let it get tacky, and then you put the foundation over it, the foundation sticks. So I have been putting this on first to get the glow factor, and then putting this on top of it for the stickiness factor, which sounds bad, but it's not. I promise, it's not. Your face doesn't feel sticky when you put your foundation on. It ends up being great. But I really like this one because when I use it, even on its own, it doesn't interfere with the foundation I put on top of it. And that is like the biggest thing that I can ask from a primer, because my skin and primers, for whatever reason, don't go well together. And I have a couple of the Makeup Forever ones. I've tried other brands. Even like the only primers that I've ever found that I really like are the Hourglass Mineral Veil one, which like some people are blown away by. I think, again, it just doesn't interfere with my makeup. And the Murad Invisibler, again, just doesn't really interfere with my makeup. Everything else makes my foundation like break up around my nose area. I don't know why. It'll only do it when I'm wearing primer. I've tried different applications, like I've tried everything. So I don't know what it is about my skin and primer, it just doesn't like it. I wanted to try this one because I'd been hearing good things, and again, it doesn't interfere with what I put on top of it, and it gives a nice glow without being overpowering, which I appreciate. So I have been liking this one. If you are looking for a primer that will give you glow but not make you look oily, and that doesn't necessarily do much else, try this one. Now next, like I said, I have been trying a lot of foundations this month. So the first one I tried was from MAC, and this is actually my first MAC foundation ever. I went and got matched, and it is the PROLONGWEAR Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. Mine is in NC25, and I really like this. Do I think it lasts 24 hours or whatever? No. And I think that's what the claim is on this, that it is supposed to last 24 hours. Does it last a long time? Yes. I think this is kind of the equivalent, or the other way around, whatever you want to say, of my L'Oreal Infallible. They are very similar to me. The only thing is this one claims to be waterproof, which I've never really tested because I don't really understand that, because you put products on over your foundation. So, okay, your foundation might be waterproof, but your bronzer and your blush and your highlight isn't. So it's like if you were ever caught in the rain, everything else would be washed off, but then you'd have foundation. Like I don't know. I don't really understand the draw of it. So yeah, but I like the way this blends. I like the coverage it gives. It hasn't broken me out, which I know is a notorious thing with MAC foundations. And I've just really been liking it. I like the color. You know, I can't really say anything bad about this one. So, well, actually, I can. I can say one bad thing about this, and that's the size of the bottle. It's little. It's so baby tiny. You don't get a full fluid ounce. It's 0.84 fluid ounces, which is disappointing for how much you pay for it. I think that you should get like a standard foundation size is 1 ounce, and it's disappointing that you don't get that with this. The other one that I tried is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation, and it has been a long time since I was impressed by a foundation as I was putting it on. And like this one, because I have the Ultra HD and the regular HD, and I like them. I think what I don't like about them is, for me, they're not very high coverage, so I find myself having to layer it quite a bit. And the first time I used this, I used way too much because I thought it was going to be like that. And even the lady who helped me at Sephora said, you know, when you use it, if you want a higher coverage, do like a hashtag on your cheeks or whatever, or wherever you need more coverage, and you'll get it. But I found that this is medium to full coverage on me, even if I don't use a lot. And what I do with this is I'll do like 1-2 swipes, 1-2, a little bit on my nose, a little bit on each side, and then 1 across my forehead, and that's enough. And anything else I put on top is concealer. I don't need to put more of this on. You do have to be careful with this. I see some people put this on and they put a lot. They'll use 2 different colors and they're slapping it all over their face, and I'm just like, because this is a foundation that if you put too much of it on, you feel it all day, and I hate that. So for me, I have to be very careful how much I'm putting on, and the fact that it's a stick foundation makes it kind of hard to be consistent, because if you press a little bit harder than you did the time before, you'll get more on, you know, that kind of thing. It is best to err on the side of not enough when you're using this, because otherwise it doesn't set, even with powder. The first day that I wore it, I loved it. Like, I loved the coverage, I loved the way it, you know, it looked, but then when I got to work, like, I was like, I still feel it, and that's gross to me, you know? So I ended up a couple hours into work, like, taking a Kleenex and, like, blotting my entire face with it just to soak up the extra around my nose and everywhere else, because I was like, this just feels disgusting. And after I did that, it was fine. And the next day I used less. And after that, you know, I've used the proper amount for me, and it's been fine. But it is one of those things that I think, and I think you probably run the risk of this with most stick foundations, but if you're just trying it for the first time, I don't know if they can do samples of this or not, but if you can get a sample, go for it. Or if you can get them to actually apply it for you, go for it. If you are, you know, gonna buy this sight unseen and try to use it, just be cognizant of the fact that you want to put not a lot on. Even if you have a lot of things to cover, I found that I get the highest coverage with the Beauty Blender versus my brush, and I don't know, I've been really liking it. The next thing is kind of a rediscovered thing for me. The first time I got this, I had just gotten a sample of it, and I was like, I remember messaging Chanel and being like, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing, why did I never use it before? And then I got a tube of it, and I didn't like it very much. And I think it was, you know, it wasn't till the very end of the tube that I was like really enjoying it, but I'm one of those people who will use it because, you know, I paid for it. So it's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and mine is in vanilla. And I think my issue is I have to be careful the way I set this. If I put too much powder on top of this, it's terrible. And it's like everything kind of clumps together underneath my eyes. So I have to put less powder than I normally would on top of this. And I think what my issue was as well is I was putting like 3 stripes instead of spreading it out and then blending it. When I do that, it's fine, but it's one of those things that I have to work with. I have to know how it works with me. It's kind of like the Makeup Forever stick foundation. Like, I had to find the way to make it work for me. It wasn't one of those things that like just went on beautifully the first time and I had no issues, you know. And I can see some people like glop this on and I'm like, oh, because that just doesn't work for me. But I love the coverage it gives. It lasts for me well throughout the day. When I set it properly, it doesn't crease or anything crazy, so I've been really enjoying this month as well. The next thing is a new purchase for me, and I had been wanting to try this, oh man, for a long time. I think I wanted to try it before I was really even buying higher end products, so the price tag for me was like, no. And then I was trying other things and I finally remembered, oh yeah, I want to try this. So it is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder, and it's the pressed one, and it comes, whoops, with a little sponge, which I've never used, but it's in there. I don't take this with me. It's something that I set my makeup with in the morning and I go out throughout my day. I don't have skin anymore that I find that I need to repowder throughout the day, so I don't really carry a powder with me. I do have blotting papers with me now, just in case I ever find myself in that situation. But yeah, so I don't use the sponge because that would be really, you know, one of those things that I would have to use in my purse or whatever. But I like this. I had been using powder that had a tint to it before, so the fact that this one is translucent, I think I was used to that little bit of extra coverage that I was getting before, but once I got used to this, I've been really liking it. You know, it's one of those things like the primer where it doesn't do anything bad, and that's like really the most I can ask is don't do anything bad. I don't really find that it blurs my pores or whatever, but it doesn't accentuate them either, which a lot of powders can do, so I'm really happy with this. Next, I guess the next thing I can talk about is brows, and I got this and I wasn't sure what I was gonna think of it, and it is the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil. This one's in taupe. I also have it in medium brown, I believe, or neutral brown, and that one I keep in my purse. And I like this. The thick pencil part has been really hard for me to get used to, and you know, it's not as convenient as the NYX one because the NYX one is so little, but I do really like both of the colors. Even though this one's taupe, I really like the look it gives on my brows. It's a darker taupe, so I think it works for me. I do have a little bit of it in my brows today. I did darken up the Hourglass one that was in there. And you know, the brush, again, the spoolie sucks. It's workable, but it sucks. It's one of those that's like so big that if you touch it and it hits part of your skin and not your brow, you're gonna get product on your skin that you're gonna have to wipe away. But I do find that it lasts pretty well throughout the day. It's super, super inexpensive. So for what it is, it's great. You know, it's not the same quality as some of the higher end brow products, but like I said, for $3 or whatever this is, it lasts a really long time. It goes on really nicely. You can blend it out easily. You can wipe away if you make a mistake. And when you use the spoolie, it doesn't blend away to nothing like some of them do. So, you know, I've been really highly impressed with this, and I've been using it over the NYX one, mostly to try to get used to the thicker pencil part, just so that I can use different things. But I'm, like I said, really impressed with this one. So if you can get your hands on this, I haven't been able to find it in stores yet, but I did get it online. I made an e.l.f. order earlier in the month, and I've been really liking this one. The next thing I have been wearing, the Tarte Tartelette in Bloom palette. It's just beautiful. I like the formula of these shadows more than the original Tartelette one. I found the original Tartelette to be a little bit hard to blend. I haven't found that at all with these. There's not a color in here that I don't like. There's not a color in here I haven't used. The only one that's a little bit iffy is this one here, this Funny Girl, but even this one, I've seen some people where like nothing shows up when they swatch it, and some people where it's like super full coverage, amazing, opaque, awesome. And I'm somewhere in the middle of that. So I can't really even complain about that. It could be worse. But I have loved using this, and I think it really suits my eyes. I have brown greenish in between. Like if you were to look really, really closely at my eyes, it's like brown on the outside and green in the middle. And this really helps pull the green for me, which I'm always going for. So yeah, I've been just really, really, really enjoying this. I have also been using the Maybelline The Rocket Waterproof mascara lately because I don't know what the hell's going on with my eyelashes, but my right eye, for whatever reason, like decided one day to just like be droopy. And it's just the eyelashes. I'll curl them and within like 2 minutes they're like, again. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't even sleep on that side of my face, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And I found that if I put a regular mascara on, like an hour or two later, it's like my lashes are like sticking straight forward, so you like can't even see that I have eyelashes, and it just looks really weird because then this side they're like super perky and amazing, and this side it's like, so my eyes look like uneven crazy. I don't know why. So I've been curling my lashes and then using this, and at first I was using this and then using a different one over it later once it dried, and I don't know, I just find that really hard to do. I know that some people can do that and it's like it works really well for them, but I just found that I would get it all over my eyelids and it was just really, really messy. So I've just been putting like 2 coats of this on and calling it a day. But I do like it. The only thing I don't like about this one is that the wand is really fat for my eyes. Like it's like the exact same size as my eyes. So I don't know if you can. So I like the formula of this, but I do wish that the brush was smaller. So I think I'm going to be on the hunt for a waterproof mascara that has a thinner brush that's easier on my little baby eyes. I do have an unfavorite this month. I actually have 2 unfavorites, but I don't have the one with me, so I'll talk about that first. I just got a sample of the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I really didn't like it. It broke up on my face really badly. It didn't last very long, whether I used a primer or not. And I found that it had kind of shitty coverage. So I don't know if everybody who's reviewed it has like no problems on their skin to cover, so it looks full coverage to them. But like I had just a regular breakout and it like refused to cover it. And I felt like the concealer that I used on top of it was less effective over it, which is really weird and I don't understand why. But I mean, I would use that NARS concealer over it, which is like super high coverage, and it still had a hard time concealing, and I don't know, it sucked, and I was really disappointed, but also very, very glad that I only got a sample of it. And I know that some people, that's like their holy grail foundation, but I really did not like it. I don't know what it is about my skin, but as we've seen already this video, it is weird about some things, so I don't know if it's just me, but I really was not impressed. And I'm really, really glad that I did not purchase the full size and I only got a sample, because I would have been really, really upset and had to return it and do all that stuff, which I hate doing. So the other thing that is an unfavorite, I did talk about in the things I got for Christmas video, and it's the Wayne Goss #1 brush. This thing sucks. It sheds. It just is not a good brush, and I know that they redid the collection, and I almost got it, but it was more expensive, and the reviews that I was reading said that the #1 brush, even though it was different, still had the same problems. I know it's bigger now, and I think the bristles are a little bit longer, but I was seeing a lot of the same types of reviews on it. So I kind of figured when I bought that I wasn't going to like this, but I didn't realize I was going to dislike it as much as I do. It just sucks. Like, if you could buy the collection and be like, just, you don't have to send that one, you know? Like, if that was an option, I would have done that with this brush, because it's just terrible. There really aren't very many redeeming qualities about this brush, so yeah. It's the only thing I can say that really sucked about the Wayne brushes, but not good. And that's it. I feel like I was talking really fast. I'm sorry if I was. I can't believe 2016 already. That's just crazy to me. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I hope you guys had a great year. You know, for me, there was ups and downs, I think, like everybody has, and the ending of this year has really been kind of a rough one. Kind of goes a little bit in with why my schedule has been a little bit off. So I'm really hoping to start 2016 off well. I'm not a resolution person. I think that is really just, you know, a way to set yourself up for failure, because I think people make resolutions they can't keep. And I like to just kind of set intentions for the year. Like, I really hope to focus more on positive things this year and focus more on kindness this year, because I think that you encounter a lot of negativity, especially being on the internet and putting yourself out there. Whether it's just commenting on your favorite person's video or whatever, you open yourself up to getting negative comments back and stuff. And, you know, I'd like to not participate in that this year. I think it's hard to not feel like you get sucked into that kind of thing, to seeing someone being a jerk and calling them out for it, realizing I don't have to attend every fight I'm invited to. You know, it's just not worth the energy, and I really hope that this year is a more positive one in general for everyone. Even if you had a great year, I hope that this next year is even better for you, and, you know, that things that you want to happen. And if they don't, I hope you can find peace with that. And that's really what I'm looking for as well, for the goals that I have to either happen or for me to be okay with them not happening. So acceptance and positivity, I think, is what I'm really trying to get out of this new year. And I think that's the best that you can hope for, you know, that kind of outlook. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had a great holiday season, and, you know, I hope you guys spend the new year with people you love. And yeah, I hope the best for you guys. Without being mushy, I need to stop being mushy. But yeah, I will leave all my social media stuff in the description bar. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.